Hello and welcome to another Vorago guide by Zombot. Today I'll be going over some tips and tricks and how to deal with the end rotation for Vorago, specifically phase 3 and 4 and a few of the intricacies for that phase. So I have a video queued up here of a duo with me and Lixty, and I'll use that to show a few tips and tricks and how to deal with things. So the video starts here. We're at the end of phase 2. We're doing pre-build. I've already hit Natural Instinct, and I'm building back up. I'm going to get to 100, and then this is how I usually do my timings. So whenever I see the middle start to break, that's when you would normally do heal other for your crack heal. And on that same tick, I'll also be using provoke on the dummy. So you'll see here, I healed other. Now you can see provoke has its 10-second timer going down. So I'm going to drop a dummy here so that my partner can continue his rotation. And then right here, what you're seeing is the northeast corner of this central crack. I'm going to place my Death Swiftness on this location, because if you do it right there, you'll be able to access the Death Swiftness from any quadrant that Vorago is facing as long as you're within melee distance. So I place that. I'm building Adrenaline with 2 defensives, and I'm watching my cooldown for provoke. When I see the 1 second left on cooldown, I will wait like half a second or around a tick, and then I'm going to target cycle and then use an ability. So currently I have on my Statius Warhammer and my melee weapons. So I'm going to Statius Warhammer, then I can use an offensive, and I'm also going to try and Greco the dummy for some adrenaline. I'm pretty close. I think I'm going to be able to get off a incendiary shot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to try to get within his arms. So Vorago is facing northeast over here. So I'm going to attempt to get in his arms, but I'm not going to quite make it. So he's going to throw his arms down too early, which is fine. So I'm going to start taking damage here. So I'm going to go through my rotation, and at this point, Vorago now is about to have a damage reduction. So I'm going to be using Eldritch Crossbow, because that will hit through damage reduction. Now Necromancy does the same thing with Split Soul, so that's another option you can use there to get through some of the damage reduction. So as you can see, I'm trying to run back, so I'll be within his arms so that this damage will stop ticking up. So my rotation here was a little wacky. I was a little bit concerned because I wasn't within his arms and I was trying to figure things out, but this is a good teaching moment. So now I'm within his arms and the damage has stopped hitting me. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do here is try to get outside of his arms without taking damage. So you can see this half is the south half of the arena. So whenever Vorago is facing either southwest or southeast, if you stand where I'm going to stand, so see his shadow right here takes up 2 main spaces. If you're on the left space, like I am right here, so if you were to look right here, there's 2 squares that the tip of his shadow is touching. If you're on the leftmost square, anywhere in this north and south on that tile, you can get out of his arms. So now he's going to move his arms, and you can get out of his arms. Now if he starts his first quadrant, he's facing either the southwest or the southeast, you can immediately get out. But on this one, I wasn't able to escape until near the end of the rotation, but that's fine. You can still see how I was able to get out. So now we're going to finish him off, and if I was worried, I could use a Vitality Power Burst here. We were a little bit slow, so we ended up getting the bombs, which is no big deal. You can just eat resonance, that kind of stuff to stay alive. So that's phase 3 in a nutshell. You don't really want to deal with clicking any of the bombs, and if you do get him to stand up and he does throw bombs at you, you can Vitality Potion, you can just eat food, it's no big deal. You shouldn't have much going on after he stands up. Usually you should be able to just about finish him off. So now we're going into phase 4. So I'll go ahead and speed through some of this normal stuff. Okay, so here he is in phase 4. He's about to do the quadrants again. And so on this one, we do want to deal with this mechanic because there's no reason to try to DPS through because it's a time-gated phase. So what we're going to do is we're going to deal with this mechanic. So as you can see here, the quadrant you start in has no bomb. And then the second and the third quadrant can be either blue or red. One will always be blue and the other one will always be red, but it's random which one will be which. And so what these 3 bombs, the purple, the blue, and the red signify is that when he stands up, he's going to fire those 3 types of bombs. If you click on them, like spam click them and have the bombs go to you early, that means when he stands up, he won't fire that type of bomb as long as if you click on the bombs until you can't anymore. So what the bomb tank here is going to do is when we're in this red quadrant, he's going to spam click on that red. So he's going to be spam clicking, click, 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 and then he'll get all the bombs to follow him, which in a duo and trio will be 3 bombs. So what you'll see here is he's clicking on all those red bombs, and they're going to start following him. He's clicked on all 3. There's the first one. He was a little bit too close to me, so it hit a 3K, which is not that big of a deal. Oh, he's still too close because he's within 5 steps, so he gets hit another 3K and another 3K. So that was a total of 9K damage, which is not that big of a deal, even if you don't just get the 2Ks because you're standing far away. Okay, so we're not going to click the blue bombs, and we're not going to click the purple bomb. But you see there's no more red bombs over here. So that means when Vorago stands up at the end of this cycle, he will only fire purple and blue bombs. And that's important because purple bombs and blue bombs do not reset defensive abilities. Red bombs do reset defensive abilities. So what's going to happen is as we go into this last quadrant, I'm going to build up to 100% adrenaline. I'm going to equip my shield. And then I'm going to be watching and hovering over the bomb tank with intercept. So if you're a little bit new and you're not used to this, you can intercept early and you can cade early and it's no problem. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to maximize the amount of time that I have cade up and intercept up. So I'm waiting until I see that blue bomb come out, and then I'm going to barricade and then intercept. So there we go, intercept, barricade. Now all damage has been blocked and there's no red bombs that are going to be coming. So now we're perfectly safe. And then what I'm doing is I have Turtling 4 and the level 2 Malatops. So I have a full like 18 seconds of barricade. So I'm going to have a lot of barricade left over even when the 10 seconds of intercept has run out. So whenever I see my barricade go down to 11 seconds, I'm going to re-intercept the bomb tank. So I re-intercepted him. That refreshed the intercept to another 10 seconds. And now I'm going to finish out and just build adrenaline. And then usually if you have Malatops and Turtling 4, you'll be able to have the entire time up until Reflect barricaded and intercepted. And that's it for the tips and tricks on the end for phase 3 and 4. Thanks for watching.